Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking September favorites. This is the video where I get to share with you all the skincare and beauty products that made a big impression on me this month. So if you're so ready to dive into the faves, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump in. So first up is the Peach Slices Snail Rescue Blemish Busting Toner. This is actually something that I picked up in the summertime and I just emptied it this month. My bottle is completely gone. I'm missing it, but I couldn't let this Faves video go by without talking about it because this toner really impressed me. Now this is something y'all have been recommending I try for a really long time. I know I kind of dragged my feet. I sometimes can, but this is something that I picked up at my local Ulta. I think it was about $11. I know it was really affordable. That's part of the reason I bought it. And I want my toners to be on the more affordable side because as you can see, I go through them pretty quickly. It's that really hydrating, watery toner texture, which I really crave. I love that. Right after washing my face, to put something like this on, it just feels my skin goes like, you know, because when you wash your face, it can just start to feel a little bit dry, a little dehydrated, and that first layer of skincare just feels so good. Well, this is so watery and hydrating. It dives really deep into the skin, so that sensation is just like extra good. And so this was just like, it felt so good. There's just, you know, for having a high content of snail, you would think it'd have more of a gel or like a thicker consistency, but it's not. It's still really loose and watery with just a hint of body, just a hint of plumpness. So a couple layers of this, like your skin is feeling hydrated, plump, replenished. You're getting antioxidant care, you're getting antibacterial care, you're getting anti-inflammation care, you're getting soothing care, you're getting moisture, you're getting well-aging benefits, right? Just a couple of light layers quickly absorbed into the skin, and then I can move on to something else. Now, earlier in the month, I was fighting a cold right around Labor Day weekend. I was like, I'm just not feeling good. I'm feeling kind of run down. I don't know what's up here, but like, I guess I just gotta like take it easy this weekend. And then all of a sudden I wake up and it's like stuffy nose and congestion and my ears felt all like clogged up from like all the pressure in my sinuses and I had a cough and I was like, I haven't been sick in like 4 or 5 years. So that was kind of new for me. Luckily I got over it fairly quickly, but with all the nose blowing and all just the tiredness, the fatigue and everything, my skin definitely felt, you know, that illness. I did get some irritation and some dehydration, and then I got some pimples on my upper lip from blowing my nose all the time. There was a few days where I just didn't have a lot of energy to do like a robust routine. So really what I was doing is I was washing my face, like spraying some thermal water, and then I was using Snail and just like, you know, oil and moisturizer. You know, it was like all I could do. I was like, I can't even stand up. I'm so fatigued. I'm a big baby when I get sick, I guess. So Snail has just been super duper helpful in the summertime. It was keeping my skin really balanced and replenished. But when I was sick this month, I really noticed how helpful it was for my skin. The next product that I want to talk about has actually been named as a favorite in the past, probably about at least 2, maybe even 3 years ago at this point. But I think that it makes sense to talk about it because it helped me a lot this month. It's something I haven't used for a long time. It's actually something that has had a bit of a facelift. It has a new name, and so I think it's a great chance to kind of reintroduce this product, if you will, and that is the by Wishtrend Propolis Energy Boosting Essence. Now this actually used to be called the Quad Active Boosting Essence, and you know I fell deeply in love with that product. Like I said, probably about 3 years ago now, I think it was. Now this was part of the Propolis Energy Renewal that by Wishtrend did. So it included the cream in this line. It also included the essence as well as the Ampoule, which used to be called the polyphenols in Propolis, 15% Ampoule, another product that I love. It's now the Propolis Energy Calming Ampoule. So some new names here and some package updates on 2 fantastic products, but the formula, the product itself hasn't actually changed at all. But I know quite a few of you have been struggling to find these products because of the name change. So that's why I said I think it's a good time for us to like revisit and reintroduce these products. But let me tell you, specifically, I want to talk about the essence because adding this into my routine, It's kind of funny, like when you use stuff and you love it and you rave about it, and then again, like you get distracted, you move on, you're exploring new things, you kind of forget how great some of those products in the past were. I absolutely love the serum. I forgot how well the essence actually boosts the benefits of the serum. So, the serum's really my go-to when I'm breaking out, when my skin is inflamed, when it's irritated, when I'm getting breakouts, but I just cannot take that step up to salicylic acid or an extra night of tretinoin or what have you, because I have sensitive skin. That line for me is so like, it's always like this fine balance between what's just the right amount to keep my skin clear and what's too much that's going to make my skin irritated. And so a product like this is so great because it's propolis and heart leaf along with zinc PCA. These are all really gentle ingredients that respect the moisture of your skin. They're not astringent or stripping, but they really do help with inflammation. They help with bacteria. They help with acne and really help to calm the skin down and facilitate healing. And so whenever that happens, like when I was sick, after I was sick and I had those breakouts on my top lip, I started reaching for this and I was like, oh, this is so good. And definitely love it. But I forgot that the essence in combination really just makes the results so much more robust. It really speeds them up while still being gentle. And really the secret here, while they have added propolis into the name, there's not a ton of propolis in the product. I think it's about 1%. It's pretty low, honestly, in my opinion. But what they're using is 10% of willow bark extract, and that is a natural salicylate. It's much, 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 much more gentle than salicylic acid, but it has those similar benefits where it can get a little bit deeper into the skin. It can just really help to facilitate the dead skin cells shedding away from the skin. It's also anti-inflammatory, so it helps to reduce the size of those pimples, the swelling, and that redness that comes with the inflammation without stripping the skin of moisture. So I added this into my routine. I started using the serum and I started to see the pimples healing up, going away, starting to reduce in size. When they get so inflamed and so red and you're like, ugh, this is so obvious. It really, the redness, like in a day or two, it really took the redness down and the swelling down. And then after about a week-ish of using this, I was like, hey, my pimples, like nothing new is popping up. My skin is definitely looking a lot clearer, and definitely that irritation and that inflammation that I was getting from just that skin feeling a little bit roughed up was gone. And so I really wanted to talk about these products again because I've been leaning on them quite a bit this month. And as I mentioned, I can feel my allergies now in the last week of September really starting to kick in. And inflammation, it's going to probably mean breakouts for me if I don't keep that inflammation in check. And so adding those types of ingredients into my routine is really something that every fall I keep my eye on. I recently did some fall content for serums and moisturizers, and I talked about that struggle with allergies. It really can affect your skin. And so yeah, absolutely take your allergy medicines, what works for you. Anti-inflammatory diets sometimes can help manage symptoms too, but getting those anti-inflammatory ingredients that are just right for your skin are so beneficial. And for me, propolis, willow bark extract, heart leaf, these are all ingredients that are respectful to my sensitive skin, that can actually bring hydration and moisture and balance into my combination skin, but are also very effective for me and the way that my skin breaks out. So next I want to talk about the Ordinary Soothing and Barrier Support Serum. So this was a new product that was released in the middle of September, but I was so lucky. I was actually testing this out in August. The Ordinary sent this to me. I was very lucky and I wanted to talk about it for so long, but I couldn't, until they announced that the product was coming out. So I've actually had my hands on this for a while now. Full disclosure, because I like to be very upfront about these things. The Ordinary did send the product to me for testing, to see if I wanted to do some sponsored content with them for the release of this product. So I did do a sponsored Instagram post with the brand. I'm not under any obligation to talk about any further than that post. I want to be very clear about that. I just have really been enjoying this product. I've had it in my hands for a while now. Like I said, I've really wanted to talk to you about it. And so this is not sponsored, but I wanted to disclose that there was that type of relationship with the brand, and that's the reason why I had it before release. But because I have been testing it for a while, it feels right to talk about it as a favorite this month. It really does attack all facets facets of skin soothing and barrier support from many different angles. I mean, just from the barrier support stance alone, you know, they have ceramide content in here, but it's not your traditional ceramide cholesterol fatty acids kind of barrier support. They are actually using plant-derived ceramides. So these are actually lipids that come from plant sources that can help to fortify your moisture barrier, your body. There are certain plant lipids that are taken in by the body and seen as skin identical. And so our skin and our body knows how to use them. So they're using ceramide content that way, but then they're also using good old 2% of niacinamide, which stimulates our body's natural production of ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids, our own lipid production. And that really helps to strengthen the moisture barrier and help your skin hold onto hydration and resist the dehydration process. There's also some great hydrating ingredients in here. Aquasil or Aquaxil, I'm always mispronouncing things. I know, it's so funny, but hey, whatever, it happens. We're all human. But that's that trio of ingredients, those sugar molecules that help bind water into the skin. And I find them to be the types of hydrators that like dive deep into the skin. You know, I'm always talking about that because there's watery hydration that can sometimes sit at the top of your skin and like it feels nice, it feels good, but then there's those types of hydrating ingredients that almost feel like a burst of hydration, like they're just like traveling deep into the epidermis and just like exploding as a hydration bomb. You know what I'm saying, huh? If you know, you know. That, you know, these ingredients are those types of hydrators, and I am always seeking for those in any season because it makes my skin feel so good. It really replenishes it, and there's almost even like a soothing quality to that type of hydration. So anyways, they've really nailed the hydrating and barrier fortifying side of things. But then from the, you know, soothing side of things, we have vitamin B12 in here, which is actually really the star ingredient. It is what contributes to the color of the serum. It's kind of this shocking Pepto-Bismol pink color. When I first saw it, I was like, how can this be natural? Why are they messing with the color? Why are they like dyeing it? They did not do anything to alter the color necessarily, but because there's a high content of vitamin B12, that's actually that's where the natural pink color comes from. So instead of resisting that, they just ran with it, you know what I'm saying? But they haven't done anything to like amp up the pink here. So the vitamin B12 helps with inflammation, with redness, and just with like, you know, itchy, uncomfortable skin. It really just helps to soothe the skin overall, and it helps to support a healthy moisture barrier function. There's bisabolol in here, and that's a really great intense soothing ingredient. And then they're using a couple of novel skin soothing ingredients as well that really help to address the signs of inflammation and redness, especially on the skin. This serum specifically really is about reducing redness on the skin, and I think that they do a pretty good job with that. The ingredients list is really well-rounded, and as I mentioned, it kind of attacks it from different angles, which I find really intriguing. The texture is this really beautiful interplay between hydration and moisture. And you know, I'm such a sucker for these emulsion type of textures. So when you're, you get it out of the dropper and it looks really creamy. It has a looseness or runniness to it. It's not a stiff cream, like a traditional like cream. There's a silkiness and a fluidity to it, but you can tell there's going to be moisture, right? As you're spreading this onto your skin, you get that deep burst, that explosion, right, of hydration. So deep within the skin, hydration. Up at the top of the skin, you're getting that really softening, conditioning, light but breathable moisture. It's not greasy. It's not heavy. There are some barrier serums that are so buttery and so creamy that they're really only going to be suitable for very dry skin. I can see this type of texture working for a variety of skin types. It really just depends on what your skin needs in the moment, but they've definitely formulated it in a way that's not just for dry skin, if you know what I'm saying. So the texture, it feels medium on the skin once it's absorbed. You're not getting that thick layer of like grease that you can just like wipe off with your fingers, you know what I'm saying? It just feels so good, really balanced, very comforting, but not overwhelming. So it's been playing really well with whatever products that I've been adding in alongside of it. I did do a this or that between this and neon modulating glucosides, because as soon as I talked about this in the fall serums video, y'all were requesting that. And I was like, I'm already on it. I'm already working on it. You know, I'm all about barrier care. I'm all about soothing the skin. I think that this absolutely delivers on the claims. I think it's a really exciting new release from The Ordinary. I think it's a really great complement to the products they already have, especially with all the acids in the lineup. It's great to have something that helps keep your skin strong as you're using higher percentages of acids and things like that. So from that standpoint, I think it really complements the line, but just from a performance standpoint, I think that this performs really well. So in the wrap up last month, I shared with you how I was working on a new podcast project, but I was struggling, to get it up and off the ground, and sharing with you, how I overcame that, and really just focusing on one step at a time, right? Instead of the entirety and the bigness, right, of the project, and feeling very overwhelmed by it. And so I am really excited to announce, if you haven't caught it already, my new podcast, Unpacking Beauty, is officially out this month. And, this show is all about answering burning questions about the beauty industry, from science to marketing to trends. There are just some questions that I have about products and about the beauty industry that I just can't answer on my own as a skincare enthusiast. And so I wanted to create a show where I can take my questions and yours to the experts to really unpack those answers and to learn a little bit more about our products beyond the label. So if you're really into, deep diving the science and ingredients in skincare and beauty products, if you're really interested in the industry, in marketing beauty products and starting your own beauty line, working in beauty, or if you just want to learn more about trends in this space or things that you might be seeing on social media, all aspects, right, of the industry, that's what this podcast is all about. It's about giving us a deeper insight into this world and helping us to become smarter consumers in the long run. So the podcast is released in two formats, audio format and video format. So if you love to listen, I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google, I'm on all the podcast catchers. So definitely check out the show there and make sure to follow the show, rate it with stars if you have a moment. If you like video, you're in luck. I have the video conversations. They're the exact same. You're not missing out on anything. They're not shorter. The video conversations are here on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications. And there's 2 episodes out already. The very first episode was with Ali Reed of Stratia Skincare. We talked all about peptides. We both love peptides so much, and we talked about the different types of peptides out there, what they can do for your skin. And we also talked about Ali's formulating process when she's creating new products for Stratia, especially her peptide-based moisturizer interface. And then for the second conversation this month, I talked to Michelle Wong, aka Lab Muffin Beauty Science, all about the trends on TikTok that really annoy chemists. Misinformation and myths abound, but there's a lot of ways that content creators can use science, cherry picking information from studies, but also using very compelling images, like spreading sunscreen on toast and seeing if it burned or not, or using antioxidants on apples. These images that pull us in, but aren't actually telling us a lot or telling us the truth about products. So it was a really fun conversation with Michelle. I am very excited about my guests for next month, but I won't spoil anything. Just make sure that you're following however you like to get your podcasts. Make sure you're following. And I'm just very, very, very happy this project is out there. It's actually something that I have been working on for a really long time. It was really go time, over the last couple of months, and that's where I kind of hit a wall a little bit, but this is actually something I've been developing for quite a while. So to actually see it out in the world is just very gratifying, but to see a response to it has been even more so. You know what I mean? The response so far has been really, really positive. I'm so excited that you're loving the show and the concept. Like I said, I've been working on it for a while. I've had it in my heart for a while. To see that it actually is making a difference and really resonating with you means a lot to me. So if you're loving the show, I just want to ask you a small favor. If you've watched or if you've listened and you really enjoyed it and you're looking forward to more, if you could just take a moment to write a review on Apple Podcasts. That's where it makes a really big difference. But you just have to write a few sentences. It does not have to be a big thing, but just a few sentences about how you're enjoying the show. Because not only for a brand new show like this, it takes a while to get it up off the ground. It helps other people find the show. It helps other listeners find it in their podcast players. But it also helps me find guests for the show, because it's really just proof that the show makes a difference, that it helps people out, and that there are people listening. So if you could take a moment, if you don't have the time, it's absolutely okay. But it really means so much. Those reviews help the show immensely. Like, you have no idea how helpful they are. So I would be so grateful if you could write a review. If you don't have time, if you can just rate it in your podcast player, thumbs it up here on YouTube, write a comment, share it with a friend, whatever you can do for a new podcast. It is so helpful. And I'm so grateful to you, and I'm so happy that you're enjoying it. I'm curious, how has your month been? What are your favorite products or lessons that you learned this month? Let me know in the description below. If you love this video, but you haven't hit subscribe yet, please, I would be so honored if you would come join our community. You'll get all the videos and all the podcast videos, shorts, everything. I'm very active here on YouTube, so turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I just want to thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful to you. I'm grateful for your support. I couldn't do it without you, and that's just the plain truth of it all. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without your support, and I want to acknowledge you. I want to thank you so much for being here. And I want to thank you all for being such an amazing, positive community where we can share skincare and self-care and really go deeper with our skincare hobby, right? So I love you so much. I'm so grateful to you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. I hope you're healthy, happy, and safe. Talk to you soon.